What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan Janice, here in the basement. Welcome to another packed episode. We're going to be breaking it down for you today with some fan mail, some news and rumors, telling you some events that are coming up. You're going to hear from Scotty Scoop and the Giggler through our studio voicemail, which we do have. We have not been plugging it as much as we should be. It's 754 call log. It's 754-225-5564. You can call it, you can text it. Rates and terms and all that do apply, but it's easy. You know, we play your message on the show. You can tell us what you're watching. Tell us about something you're doing here around town in St. Louis or wherever you live. We got listeners in over 50 countries. You might be watching us on Spotify or YouTube. You might be subscribed in a podcast app. No matter where it is, thanks for tuning in today to the show. We have been busy, so let's get right to it.
Fan mail.
We've honestly been giving so much stuff away at our local events. We got to give away tickets to Sailor Moon Live. You may have heard our exclusive interview with Riko Tanaka from the Sailor Moon show. That was really cool. That was our first time interviewing someone. She only spoke Japanese. I only spoke English. We had a translator, but I hope you enjoyed that episode. It was only a few minutes long. It was really radio style, so check it out. And we've also got all sorts of stuff up for grabs, not only at our events, but also at mostlysuperheroes.com/contests. There's a lot of things up there that you just have no idea. There's free dinners, there's free tickets to shows, there's free vinyl records. We're just always giving stuff away. And once again, just want to make sure that you know that you could enter to win totally free. mostlysuperheroes.com is where you want to be. And again, to call or text, call log. Call or text it. It's something that I want to start sending to friends of the show. We have a lot of friends in the show. We're trying to keep you informed about movies, music, TV, but also what's going on in the community in terms of events, live music, cool shows. And if you know of something going on, call and leave a message, and you're going to get featured on the podcast. You know, you're seeing us release stuff every single week, and it's 754-225-5564, 754 call log. Next up,
News and rumors.
News and rumors, we got a fun show for you here local in town. Labyrinth fans, yeah, the Jim Henson movie Labyrinth in concert is at the Factory. This is right around the corner, just in time. Wednesday night, April 16th. Listen up, the Labyrinth in concert live at the Factory. Since the film's theatrical release on June 27th, 1986, Jim Henson's Labyrinth's loyal and steadfast cult following has grown over the decades. Audiences are invited to experience an epic evening as a live band performs in sync with the movie, featuring David Bowie's original vocals and playing the songs and the score from the soundtrack composed by Bowie and Trevor Jones. Experience this one-night show Wednesday, April 16th at the Factory at the District in Chesterfield, Missouri. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. All ages are welcome. Tickets available at Ticketmaster as well as thefactorystl.com and labyrinthinconcert.com. You can follow Labyrinth in Concert, Henson Company, and Labyrinth Movie Official, as well as the Factory STL on Instagram. Costumes are highly encouraged, but please, no weapons or laser pointers. Get over to the Factory and see the show. You can see Scotty Scoop there. I think Chef Liz here in town is going from Tenacious Eats. This is it. The Labyrinth in Concert live at the Factory, April 16th. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster. Next up, we got Sam the Sleeper from Team Jakey was just on More to Say with Randy Naughton, the podcast. That episode is out now. You can watch it on YouTube. You can find it where you get podcast, More to Say with Randy Naughton. Find that linked up at randynaughton.com as well as mostlysuperheroes.com. We have TV and film trivia bingo once again, April 24th at Four Hands downtown. Come on out. We have a lot of surprises in store. Free to play trivia bingo in the TV and film category, April 24th. We are going to have a May the 4th episode, and we might be tagging along to some events that are happening around town. We know that our friends Steve's Hot Dogs, as well as Tenacious Eats and Geek to Me Radio, are all doing a bunch of nerdy May the 4th things, and we'll definitely have an episode, so keep an eye out for that. Ties right in with Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, going to be in theaters, I believe, like right about now, here in late April of 2025. Me and the crew are definitely going to get out to the Alamo and see Revenge of the Sith, my favorite prequel movie, episode 3. So get out and see it for sure, whether it's at the Alamo or your local theater. 20 years of Star Wars, and we'll talk about that in that May the 4th episode as well. We're seeing Thunderbolts at Alamo May 10th for our screen and social at 12 o'clock noon. Tickets are on sale right now. Just went on sale today. mostlysuperheroes.com/events, and more about that later, as today we're talking about Thunderbolts and the road to the movie. We have taps for Team Jakey at Four Hands Downtown May 22nd, and we're counting down to Two Rivers Comic-Con May 23rd through the 25th. That's in St. Charles, Missouri, right here near St. Louis. If you might be considering traveling to town for this Two Rivers Comic-Con, James Install and Geek to Me Radio was just on the show telling us about it. They're running this show. We're going to help promote it. We're very excited to hear about a Ground Roots Comic-Con here in town, and we're going to be helping you learn about what's happening at the con over the next few weeks, as well as helping you sign up to get tickets to get them at our events that we just talked about. So a lot going on around town, nerdy-wise, throughout the spring and the summer. You can count on Mostly Superheroes to help keep you informed. And that's news and rumors.
What you watching?
I've seen a lot of great stuff here lately. You'll also hear from the Giggler and Scotty Scoop here in this segment. Speaking for me, myself, Logan, and Carrie, we saw Batman 1989 in concert. The movie paired with St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. This was a show at the Stiefel at here in downtown St. Louis. It was really cool. First time experience for me even seeing St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, which has been on the list for a long time. Paired with a DC movie that I just love and we talk about on this show quite a bit. So it was a really surreal experience. The music, just, it's if you're just thinking about like what's that like to see the movie, the orchestra is down on the floor in front of you, they're on a stage. It was a beautiful, the Stiefel is just beautiful and large and so tall, and I mean it felt like you were seeing a very a very good play or musical, and the music was front and center, kind of being very loud over the movie, and they kind of figured out how to make the dialogue come through at a good volume too. I had a lot of questions about how are they isolating the audio and making it really just a good, rich experience for the audience. So if you're considering seeing one of these orchestra paired with one of your favorite movies, my take is go do it. I'm going to keep an eye out for my titles in the future. HBO Max, The White Lotus, Season 3. Not going to get into spoilers too much. Just want to give you a spoiler-free take on Season 3. The White Lotus is back. This show is epic. You might have seen it, you might not have. If you have, you're along for another great ride in Season 3. If you haven't got on board yet, my advice is watch this show. It kind of feels like you're on vacation when you watch it. It's kind of just a chill pill on a Sunday night. People on beaches getting massages, eating fruit, and drinking mimosas. It just kind of gives this vibe of hanging out, and there's always just a cool twist, a murder plot, and just kind of the funny things that come with a staff at a hotel. All these things you get with The White Lotus, and I think Season 3 was right there with Seasons 1 and 2, and the creator of the show, Mike White, he's the screenwriter, director, actor, producer, the writer of this particular show, The White Lotus. You might recognize him from writing other cult favorite films, such as Chuck and Buck and School of Rock. And he has actually said about this show that, he's building a world, and he uses the word edging, and he's edging the audience and teasing out things and storylines that you can see do actually go from season to season. I think that's one of the first questions you get is, does this show tell an isolated story each season, or is it kind of connecting a dot? It is definitely connecting dots. So I think we're in for a real ride with Season 4. The White Lotus, Season 3, I give it a 3.8 out of 4.0. Go see it now on HBO Max. Netflix, Black Mirror, Season 7 is out. I'm a huge Black Mirror fan, as is Carrie, and this season did not disappoint. No spoilers here. They have the same great themes. I think the great thing that Black Mirror has done over the years is they always kind of push the envelope every single season. They're not afraid to try new types of storytelling, and every episode is just almost like a complete different theme or style, and I just think that they're hitting their stride here in Season 7. One of the best seasons yet. It made me want to go back and handpick some episodes from previous seasons and watch Black Mirror, a dark look at a not so far away future with pretty realistic things on technology that aren't out of reach of happening, that get pretty eerie, kind of scary, definitely make you feel uncomfortable. But I think is kind of a good look and a good cautionary tale for the society as all of us are growing with technology and seeing it evolve, especially with young kids having access earlier and earlier. We got to be mindful of how all this is going to happen. And Black Mirror is a fun show that I think makes it happen. And they got some big stars in this big season. I don't even want to spoil it for you. If you haven't watched it before, check it out. Trigger warning for some episodes, especially the very first one ever. The show usually gets a bad rap because the pilot has like a graphic, I don't even know how to phrase this, bestiality kind of is at play in the first one. And it's just really like, wow, what are we here for? And I just think the rest of the show, the other 99%, doesn't really fit the theme of that first episode. So if you get started on it, just take that with a grain of salt. Definitely a trigger warning. And then the show only really gets better from there, peaking here with season 7. So Black Mirror on Netflix, I give it a 3.9 out of 4.0. Go check it out. Another one on Netflix for you, Love on the Spectrum. Yes, 3 seasons of pure joy, laughing, crying, just seeing all of it happen and play out and not really knowing what the show was going to be. Knowing about it, hearing about it. And Carrie and I have watched all 3 seasons in a matter of a couple days, a real straight binge. And now we're just counting down to season 4. Going to give it a 3.95 out of 4.0. This is a really fun show. Like you say, amazing characters, just because, Love on the Spectrum. We're all very different. We're all very individual. And this show is just a great representation of that, because there are just so many fun, different types of people on the show. And it does revolve around finding love and will they, won't they, and thinking it might go one way and really always being surprised at the way it turns. And boy, just a real joy to watch. So yes, Love on the Spectrum on Netflix. Check it out. Hey squad, Logan here. You know what keeps our adventures fueled? The incredible brews from Four Hands Brewing Company. They've been our go-to craft brewery since 2012. Our studio fridge is always stocked with their finest, from Citywide Light to Incarnation to Divided Sky to Chocolate Milk Stout, along with the latest seasonal and small batch releases. Whether you're downtown, Kirkwood, the district in Chesterfield, or passing through St. Louis Lambert Airport, Four Hands has you covered. Grab a cold Citywide. Their philanthropic brew, created to give back to the St. Louis community. Since its launch in 2016, Citywide has raised over $300,000 for local nonprofits. For every case sold, $1 is donated to carefully selected charities. If you're in the mood for something different, check out Four Hands Extended Family 1220 Spirits and Withered Oak. They've got cocktails, seltzers, and non-alcoholic options to quench any thirst. And a special deal for you Mostly Superheroes fans. Mention Mostly Superheroes or the password MOSTLY to your bartender at any Four Hands location and you get your second beer free. Must be 21 years of age to redeem. Again, go to any Four Hands location, mention Mostly Superheroes, password MOSTLY, and get your second beer on us and Four Hands. Limited time promotion. Get it while supplies last. Visit them in person or head over to fourhandsbrewery.com. Follow them at Four Hands Brewing Co. on Instagram and social media. Cheers to great beers and even better times with Four Hands Brewing Company. Hey, it's Logan from Mostly Superheroes, the podcast, here with a very special announcement. Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis hosts their program Charity on Tap, where they support local groups and organizations that need their help. Next up on Charity on Tap at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis is Team Jakey, End the Stigma. Team Jakey has been ending the stigma in the St. Louis area for over 11 years, helping advocate for mental health resources and support, and partnering up with groups like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Missouri and Provident Behavioral Health in St. Louis. And it's not just Alamo Drafthouse teaming up. We, of course, have our friends Four Hands Brewing Company helping us out as well. Beginning April 1st at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis, for every Four Hands Citywide American Pale Ale purchased, $1 will be donated to Team Jakey to help support their mission to end the stigma. This awesome collaboration that runs from April 1st through June 30th. So go get you a Citywide at Alamo Drafthouse and support Team Jakey. The first 100 patrons will receive a prize pack, a limited edition koozie, and sticker pack, and more. Big thank you to Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis for their generosity with Charity on Tap, and Four Hands Brewing Company for helping out with the cause as well. You can learn more about Team Jakey on Facebook and at mostlysuperheroes.com/Team Jakey. You can also see our event details, learn more about that at mostlysuperheroes.com/events. That's mostlysuperheroes.com/events. And of course, I got to weigh in on Daredevil Born Again. Just going to say, I love the show. I think season 1 of Daredevil Born Again was a setup season for a lot of seasons of this show. You know, they originally planned for 18, 19 episodes when they announced it a couple years ago. I think season 1 was this build. The finale was the most epic finale they've taken on with the franchise, including the Netflix series. This is it. This is what people have been waiting for. No spoilers here. I want to say get on board. Maybe just start with Daredevil Born Again. But if you got the time, watch the original Netflix series. It does add a lot to the show. The Punisher was more involved in this series than I thought, so maybe check those out. And a lot of good stuff from the original, kind of bringing it back into the finale. So Daredevil Born Again, giving it a 3.9 out of 4.0, really mostly hinged on the finale. The show was paced a little slower than I thought it'd be, but I'm kind of here for it because it's just so good. Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus.
Hey, Scotty Scoop here calling in the voicemail. Wanted to talk real quick about Daredevil Born Again, wrapped up last night. And wow, what an episode. Probably the best episode of the series, I would say. Overall on this series, I gotta be honest, not feeling it. Not my favorite, in the Daredevil series or in the, Disney catalog so far as show goes. It just felt a little, lacking. You know, I think we were originally promised, almost double as many episodes as we finally got. And, I want to know what was left on the floor, what we could have got, because this just didn't feel like enough. Overall, you know, it was just okay for me. I would probably put it at like a 3 out of 4. But I do want to talk about, if you're really into Daredevil, go to your local comic book store and pick up Daredevil, A Cold Day in Hell. Just came out a couple of weeks ago. This is Charles Soule and Steve McNiven, where we have an elderly Daredevil, Matt Murdock, who has lost his powers, isn't fighting crime, and some things go down and he somehow gets them back and decides to get back into business. Shoot, he looks like he might be 90. This is in the vein of a Old Man Logan type of story, and just started. Got a couple issues in the series and prime to pick up. Definitely check that out if you need more Daredevil in your life. I think that's about it for me. Scotty Scoop out.
Hey guys, Andy here. No episode recording this week, so we're just sending a quick clips. I'm still in awe of the Daredevil finale. I'm definitely going to be rewatching that on my plane ride to Las Vegas this week. Don't everyone follow your dreams. Everyone, please follow your dreams, because I'm going to WrestleMania on Sunday. I've always wanted to do this for years that I've been a wrestling fan, and now I'm just finally adult enough to have the money to be able to attend. Definitely looking forward to it. Sunday, I'll be hopefully seeing John Cena eclipse Ric Flair's World Championship record. If not, I'll be very disappointed. But WrestleMania, as the show shows, will be very entertained. More to come there. I'll be sure to get some videos, clips next time we're in the studio, tell everybody about it. But hopefully I take down the jackpot or two and never have to work again in Sin City. But I'll let you all know how it goes. Looking forward to getting back in the studio with the fellas. Everybody have a great weekend, and look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.
Good morning, gang. Sammy the Sleeper here. Nothing like start my morning by listening to that sexy, sexy voice of Logan on the voicemail. What's up, guys? I am just on the way to work. And, the St. Louis Blues clinched a playoff berth last night, a.k.a. they are birthing a playoff run. I can just feel it. The time is coming. So good for the St. Louis Blues. Exciting night last night watching them clinch that. What else? I got, excuse me, I got a little dinner plans tonight. Little dinner plans. It's going to be the first time in a long time me and the wife are going to get out. Two kids in life will do that to you. Hard to find time to go out and have dinner, little dinner date. So looking forward to that. Other than that, we got Easter weekend coming up. Exciting for all the Catholics out there. I know that's a real big weekend for Logan at Agnostic. I'll be praying for your soul, Logan, this weekend. Just kidding. I will not be praying. What else? My wife and I are watching Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. Kind of a Wall Street executive, has it all, loses it all, and turns to thievery of his friends and family. So it's pretty good. It's got me kind of hooked 2 episodes in. So check that show out, especially if you like John Hamm. But that's pretty much it for me. You guys have a good one and have a good weekend. See ya.
And last for me during What You Watching this week, preparing for Fantastic Four First Steps in theaters in July, watching Fantastic Four, the animated series on Disney+. This is a real throwback. The series is from the 90s with 2 seasons airing in 1994. And the show was really campy and just really goofy for the first 12 episodes, but I was still there for it because they are telling stories of doom and all these classic villains. And there's definitely a lot of themes that are going to relate, I think, directly to the movie. As part of the trailer for the new Fantastic Four First Steps is the media and the press kind of talking to the Fantastic Four family and having like a real dialogue that is front and center in this show. That's kind of how the pilot kicks off. They were on Dick Clark's talk show, like Dick Clark, the actual real TV show host. I believe it's actually voiced by him, and they're on his show on the cartoon, kind of telling the story of how they became the Fantastic Four. I could definitely see something like that being how we're all introduced in the movie. But like I said, really campy, very silly. And they really made the Thing just like a complete moron, like just too much, I thought. But then in episode 13 of season 1, which is really like where I'm at real time, I have not finished the series yet. Not even season 1. 13, it looks like they've changed the team. Like different producers came in, definitely different illustrators, different story writers, like a complete different vibe. The intro of the song, which is of the show, which the first 12, it's something like, it's just so silly. It's like Fantastic Four. Like it really feels like a shopping cart theme show song. And then 13, they just went like kind of like straight just superhero music, a more edgier, like darker theme. Doom in the first 12 episodes had like horrible teeth. It looked like his teeth looked like Tommy Pickles' teeth, like in Rugrats. And then it just like they fixed it. In 13, he's not campy, he's not silly. They fixed the mouth. They also made the Thing look a lot better and focused on a lot of the turmoil that the Thing kind of goes through being the Thing, going from like being a human to just, looking like a big rock, and his blind girlfriend, Alicia. Like this is all stuff that if you've seen the 2006, 5 Fantastic Four with Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, they a lot of the same shots, even, these are probably ripped straight from the comics. So I'm enjoying it. They did turn it up a little bit, like I said, and I'm entering season 2. So definitely, first time watch, I should say too. I didn't watch this as a kid, So this is fresh. So I think this is kind of a fun show. It's like one comic book is one episode. They're 20 minutes. Check out Fantastic Four animated series, especially as you're counting down to Fantastic Four First Steps in theaters in July 2025. Keep an eye out for dates for our screen and social, and see the movie with us at Alamo Drafthouse. Hey superhero fans, it's Logan here from Mostly Superheroes. To celebrate 40 years of Voltron, we've got something truly special for you. The Little People Collector Voltron 40th Anniversary Gold Label Set. This buildable set features the 5 original Defenders: Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Princess Allura. Each figure comes with a helmet featuring a metallic finish and clear visors, except for Pidge, who needed room for his glasses. But that's not all. These Space Explorer figures are packaged in individual lions that you can assemble to form the mighty robot Voltron, ready to defend the universe from King Zarkon and his nasty Robeasts. Head to store.voltron.com, linked up in the description of this podcast episode, and snag yours today. You can get 15% off your order by using promo code MOSTLY at checkout. That's store.voltron.com, and remember to use promo code MOSTLY. Hey, it's Logan from Mostly Superheroes, and we're teaming up with Team Jakey and Four Hands Brewing Company to bring you some awesome community events. Free-to-play TV and film trivia bingo. Thursday night, April 24th. Mark your calendars, come out to Four Hands Brewery, downtown location. Doors open at 5, bingo from 6 to 9. Play solo or with a team, and have a good time with Team Jakey, Mostly Superheroes, some surprise guests, and amazing prizes from all your favorite local businesses like Steve's Hot Dogs, Four Hands Brewing Company, The Royale Food and Spirits, The Gramophone, The Voltron Store, City Winery, St. Louis, and many more. We'll see you Thursday night, April 24th. Come out for TV and film trivia bingo and find all of our event information at mostlysuperheroes.com/events.
The meat.
Here on Mostly Superheroes, now talking to you about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A movie is coming out on May 2nd, 2025 called Thunderbolts with an asterisk. What's that all about? It's a 2025 film, and it's starring Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, and a whole bunch more. And today I want to talk about the road to Thunderbolts. We're going to talk about all these characters, each one, briefly, one at a time, and what you need to know going in. We're also, of course, teasing out our screen and social, May 10th, 2025, at Alamo Drafthouse, St. Louis. See the movie with us. Tickets are on sale. That's Saturday, May 10th, movie at noon. Tickets are on sale right now. And yes, we got the big show. That's the big screen, the big theater, a 12 p.m. movie. Buy tickets now at mostlysuperheroes.com/events. Come for a movie and so much more. This is the extended movie experience. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have surprises for us as we're coming out of the theater. We'll be at the Alamo in the beautiful City Foundry. This is May 10th, 2025. Movie at noon. Tickets are on sale. mostlysuperheroes.com/events. Come see it with us. Win some stuff. Have some fun. And again, lots of surprises in store for a fun Saturday at Alamo. Now, let's talk about the movie and hear a little bit from the trailer.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. Zeros on the Wheaties box with a little kitty toy.
Thunderbolts with an asterisk. I am pumped for this movie. Yeah, we're counting it down. We can't wait. What's that asterisk mean? If you're asking me, I'm just saying, I think it's Dark Avengers. Like the beginning of the trailer right away just kind of says, let's talk about these characters in the movie and just kind of get right into it. And where do you know these characters from? And who are they? Where are they from? Like what titles in the MCU were they in? We have the complete timeline pulled up on Disney Plus. We're also on our Thunderbolts landing page at mostlysuperheroes.com. Just go there and search Thunderbolts and you can get all these facts that I'm telling you about right now. So we have Valentina Allegra DeFontaine, played by Elaine from Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she was in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She also was in Black Widow, in credit scene, I believe, and in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Turns out she was the ex-wife of the agent that we met in Captain America Civil War that helped catch Bucky, and he's the friend of Wakanda. He was in Black Panther, and he got shot, and they took him back to Wakanda to heal him up. It's the guy that plays the Hobbit, and I'm stalling while I look up his name, is, of course, Everett Ross, played by Martin Freeman. That's right. And she really gets her introduction. She says, people call her Val or Valentina, and when she gets her introduction in Falcon and Winter Soldier, where she really kind of picks up from the ashes John Walker, aka U.S. Agent, who's also in Thunderbolts. This is Wyatt Russell. This is Kurt Russell's son, and he was in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Basically spoiler alert for the entire MCU. And he was the Captain America that picked up the shield and was brought in by the U.S. government when Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, said he wasn't going to take the shield after Captain America, Steve Rogers, retired. Steve Rogers retired at the end of Endgame. He gives the shield to Sam. Sam says at first, I just don't want it. Here comes John Walker, this kind of smug, arrogant, kind of unstable soldier that gets the shield, becomes Captain America. It's short-lived. He ends up having a huge episode and kills in front of a lot of civilians. And so it kind of loses all his accolades. And Valentina, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Computer says it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So you tell me. She picks up John Walker and says, listen, you've got this super soldier serum in him because he did take it. And she gives him like a suit. He gets a new shield, and now he's U.S. agent. The suit is like black. Okay. So that's kind of their background. And, back to what I was saying originally is in this trailer, Val says the Avengers are not coming. And so that's where I'm kind of thinking this asterisk is going to play a big part. Thunderbolts, the only context for Thunderbolts that people have really right now is this recent movie with Captain America Brave New World with Thunderbolt Ross, formerly played by William Hurt in all the movies, now played by Harrison Ford. Like that's our most recent reference to this term Thunderbolts. So where's that coming in? I guess maybe we'll find out. But there is a storyline in the comics, which, Scotty's told me about. I don't know this off the cuff, but Dark Avengers is a whole group of people. So I can kind of see this being, if the Avengers aren't around, maybe they'll become like Dark Avengers or something. Going character from character, who else do we have? Of course, Sebastian Stan coming back, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, titles that you can keep in mind for Bucky. I mean, he's been in the MCU for such a long time now. I mean, you meet Bucky for the very first time in the first Captain America, the first Avenger movie, and then he's really like the sole focus of the Winter Soldier. He plays a big role in Civil War. It's kind of the sole focus of that as well. And then, fights in Infinity War, living in Wakanda, and then the Falcon, the Winter Soldier. That's what you want to see most recently. And then, we've said spoiler alert, there is a big cameo of his, very short-lived, in Captain America Brave New World. So really the most recent thing is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Kind of catch you up on Bucky Barnes, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So if we're skipping ahead, it's like, he was struggling with his demons. He was a assassin for all those years. He got himself right through therapy and kind of working with Sam in this show, and they kind of helped each other see that, his problem was he was trying to do kind of like the I don't know, like just kind of like any kind of program that's similar to Alcoholics Anonymous, or uh, he was doing amends, like trying to make amends. And he was going around trying to make people feel better that he had hurt. And that was really the lesson, was that he was doing it for the wrong reasons. Sam explains that service is doing something for someone else because it'll make them feel better. So I don't know. Then we see Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, or the White Wolf. If you're in Wakanda, that's what they were calling him. He's a senator in Brave New World. Like, just going full recent spoilers. So what is that? Because in this trailer for Thunderbolts, he seems to be kind of separate from the rest of the crew, and he's washing his arm in his dishwasher. So like, what's he up to? He seems kind of active as a combative agent again. Like, he doesn't seem like a senator to me per the trailer, but that doesn't really necessarily mean anything. So that's Bucky Barnes. Let's see. Let's do Ghost next. This is Ava Starr. She's played by Hannah John Kamen, and you recognize Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one and only, I believe. And her whole thing was her dad was also into quantum research. She got blasted by some energy. Her body began phasing, and she couldn't control it, and she was like gonna die. And another quantum scientist named Bill Foster, played by the infamous Lawrence Fishburne, who you'll recognize, of course, from The Matrix, played Bill Foster in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He kind of took her under his wing, and they helped her get healed. He had a machine that helped her. And then, long story short, she ends up kind of getting healed by Janet Van Dyne. Hank Van Dyne, this is Ant-Man, like the original Ant-Man. His wife came from the quantum realm because she was there for 30 years, and they ended up rescuing her at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And she heals Ghost with her powers. It's all, and then like they figured out like how to heal her. So I'm thinking in this one, it's going to be like her powers. She's on this like Thunderbolts type Suicide Squad team, which if you haven't picked it up yet, that's kind of what this is. This is like Marvel Suicide Squad. And we'll just get to see her kind of have her powers in control. Okay, these last three, we saved them all for the last because they're all related to one movie really in particular. I mean, definitely one of them's been in more than that, but let's just talk about each one. We have Taskmaster. This is Antonia Dreykov, the daughter of the Dreykov that ran the Red Room that we always hear about from Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. She's always in these movies. She always referenced this big bad guy, and he is this daughter, and she ends up being Taskmaster, which you find out in this movie Black Widow that Taskmaster can kind of copy any move, but she was completely brainwashed until at the end of the movie she gets healed. So in this movie she's going to be totally healed, ready to go, and maybe just in control of her powers. Does she still have the Taskmaster power and be able to copy people's moves? I think so, but we'll have to see. Also from Black Widow, we also have the Red Guardian, Alexei Shostakov, played by David Harbour, who you'll recognize from Stranger Things. And he is really the adoptive father of Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, as well as Yelena, our last character, and really probably the main character of this movie. Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, sister of the late and great Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, who did pass away at the end of Endgame. And, if you've seen Black Widow, this is where you really get to know these three characters, the relationship with Yelena, really learning that, we see a story of where they got to be together, her and her sister, one last time with her dad, the Red Guardian. The Red Guardian was one of the original super soldiers. He has the serum. He's really strong. Says he's fought like the Winter Soldier before. That should be a payoff in this movie. Like, they'll probably have some banter, and there's also a great What If episode where the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier teamed up. So that really kind of gets you ready for this movie, Thunderbolts, as well. And Yelena, was coming into her own as her own Black Widow. She was going around the world and healing Black Widows from the red mist. And then we also got her in the Hawkeye show, as she was thinking that Hawkeye, Clint Barton, killed his sister. She didn't understand how she died, as we all learned in Endgame, sacrificing herself to get the Soul Stone. Like, she had didn't know about that, couldn't comprehend it, kind of blamed Clint, kind of resolved all that. And then ended up working closely with Kate Bishop, the new Hawkeye. And we also know that new Kate Bishop in Hawkeye was recruited at a end credit scene of the Marvels by Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, who they just mentioned is in LA in the recent Daredevil show. So we might have like a West Coast Avengers, Young Avengers team teaming up. Could that tie in to this Thunderbolts movie? Maybe in some way. I think you already got a lot of characters at play, but maybe an end credit or something where Yelena is in communication with Hawkeye, young Hawkeye, Katie, Haley Steinfeld, Kate Bishop. So those are the characters, those are the movies, and we kind of rattled off the titles that you might need to keep in mind. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot to kind of comprehend. I think they have a lot to achieve, but at the heart of it, you kind of have all these anti-heroes that are teaming up. And in a Suicide Squad type fashion, you have a lot of great character development, a story that kind of motivates the team to work together. So in that essence, maybe it'll motivate the audience just to kind of get behind them. And man, the one character we didn't talk about that we have to plug, Sentry. This is going to be the introduction of a character called Sentry, played by Lewis Pullman, and by the looks of the trailer, might be the antagonist in this film, or at least a problem that they have to deal with at some point. And he looks super powerful. It looks like he's wiping people out just by kind of like putting energy toward him with his hand. It looked like he threw Red Guardian through a window and was like, was just like he was just pointing his hand at him. And Sentry, according to Marvel.com, possesses remarkable levels of superhuman strength, speed, and intelligence, as well as invulnerability and enhanced senses and energy projection abilities. And Scotty Scoop on the podcast has said this is easily one of the most powerful people we've seen in the Marvel Universe, and we've heard that around the other conglomerates out there as well, the IGNs and Screen Rants. I know that this is something that's been circulating. This guy's apparently crazy powerful. We're bringing in a new character, and we'll see what Sentry's all about. In terms of my anticipation for the film, I can't wait. This looks really fun. It looks like a breath of fresh air. I am nervous coming off of Captain America Brave New World that just felt like a bit of a mess for me, and I'm excited to see it come to Disney Plus to give it a rewatch to see if that was just the day or what's going on. And that was a movie that had too much going on. And this movie is kind of set up for that with all these characters. So I have high hopes. And I remember Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think that there's good people at play for these movies. So I wish them the best of luck. And we're going to see it May 10th at our Screen and Social, and you can see it with us. A 12 o'clock movie on a Saturday with lots of fun in store following the film. So go check it out at mostlysuperheroes.com/events. We'll see you for Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, that's with an asterisk, in the theaters at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis. Go watch the trailer, some exclusive footage, as well as a special reel of following the cast of Thunderbolts' appearance at CinemaCon just recently. And they announced that tickets were going on sale, and there was a special featurette. We've got that linked up along with all the stuff we talked about in today's episode on our Thunderbolts page. Just go to mostlysuperheroes.com, search Thunderbolts. We'll see you there. There's a lot happening on the podcast, obviously, but we're really excited about it. And it's all because of followers like you, and our audience is growing, and we're seeing people write in and tell us what they're thinking. And we're seeing a lot of community engagement. So Mostly Superheroes, I'm your host, Logan, from Scotty Scoop, Andy the Giggler, Carrie Clark, Sam the Sleeper, and I'm your host, Logan. We'll see you next time on Mostly Superheroes. Be sure to like and subscribe in your podcast app and on YouTube channels, and tell a friend. Leave a review. It really helps us out. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Carrogan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.